Hi, I'm Chrane. We're just wrapping up the beta weekend here for Diablo 4 and going through all the classes, talking about the experience I've had throughout this weekend with all of them. And the third one I played was the Sorcerer. And, like, fair warning, I'm not a caster player at all. In almost any game that I play, I never lean towards a mage or a priest or a sorcerer. It's just not really my preferred class. Not just because of abilities and playstyle, but almost entirely based on aesthetic, I think. Which is why I've just never been like really pulled into playing a mage in games like this. So now that you know that, my opinion on the Sorcerer is that it's very strong. It's very good early game. And as you can see, I only got to level 16, which is my lowest leveled character on the beta. But even then, goddamn, the word glass cannon is used for mages a lot, but I feel like there's no glass. It's just a goddamn cannon. There's so much damage just shooting out of this character in every single movement they make. It's really impressive how much damage they deal. It's so strong. I don't know if it's gonna stay like that for the entirety of the game. Like, I don't know if they fall off a bit late game. Since I wasn't personally in the closed beta, I haven't seen or even heard much about how they perform at endgame. But in this portion that we've played here, it's so strong. I basically used Chain Lightning for the entirety of my story playthrough and very little else. It just does everything you need a skill to do for you. It's not like the craziest thing in the world, but it's so good. It's so solid. As for how the mage's items work, it's probably the most simple character when it comes to items, right? Well, this and the druid, I guess they have the same. You have the main hand and the offhand. That's it. That's what you're rocking right here. So you can go a two-handed staff or a wand and an offhand if you want. Can't use shields. For some reason, shields are locked to like one class, which in general I'm not a big fan of how they've done that, but it is what it is. I didn't get many crazy legendaries. I got like a flame shield one, which I don't use. I got an ice shard one, which I don't use. A general one. A mana regen one, which is like regen mana if you haven't taken damage in 3 seconds, which is like, okay, I'm never taking damage, so I'm always regenerating mana here. Wait, a dagger too? What do you mean? Like they can use a dagger? Like besides a wand? Yeah. Yeah, they can use a dagger as well, but they cannot use swords, which I find strange. But it's whatever. I find the shield more strange, to be honest. I feel like every character should be able to hold a shield if they want to. But yeah, it is what it is. That's not a sorcerer-specific issue. In general, like I said, the sorcerer is very strong. My enjoyment level for playing sorcerer, it's not really my thing. Like, I can obviously tell when I'm playing it that it's a well put together class, that it performs very well, and that people who likes a sorcerer is gonna enjoy playing this. Like, that's the way it is. It's okay to be wrong. I am wrong quite often, so I'm used to it at this point. As for the abilities I went with, for my basic one, I picked Spark. Never tried any of the others. I don't know what they do. Spark is just a tiny little bolt of lightning that shocks an enemy 4 times. That's it. I haven't seen Frostbolt, which is an old school move from the older games. Firebolt, which also comes from the other games. Arc Lash, I have no idea what this is. Unleashing Arcing Lightning deals damage to enemies in front of you. Every 10 times Arc Lash swipes, it stuns all enemies. That's cool. This one... So that's stuns after 10 hits. This one, like, basically puts a dot on them. This one chills them for 15%, so after you hit them a few times, they actually freeze. And this one does a burn dot on them. So that's it. And it's a nice variety of spices there for just a basic attack, which I think is kind of nice. When I moved on, I didn't try Incinerate, I didn't try Fireball, I didn't try Frozen Orb, which, like, these two are classics. I didn't try Ice Shards, which is what my legendary is for. I did play Chain Lightning, but I never... Charge Bolts is a classic from Diablo 2. You just shoot tiny lightning bolts across the ground and they go all over the place. Terrible tracking on those. Chain Lightning is so good. It's so strong. It damages in chains up to 6 times, prioritizing enemies over, like, barrels and stuff like that, I guess. And increased crit chance per bounce, which is nice. When it crits, it has 25 chance to form crackling energy, which periodically damages surrounding enemies when picked up, so it's like an orb on the ground. Or you can go Chain Lightning bounces off of you. Its next hit deals increased damage, which might be more useful, honestly. Because I don't think the orb does that much, really. When I came down here to, like, the more defensive stuff, didn't try Flame Shield. I, of course, picked up Teleport. I have played Diablo 2 before. I know that Teleport is the one way to win at this game. If you're going to use one ability in your entire tool set, it is the Teleport. Sadly, there's a cooldown on it in this game. We are in the age of cooldowns. The age of just mana consumption is about 20 years behind us at this point. So there will be cooldowns, ruining all the fun. When I think it's fine to just have the resource limit you. I don't think you need both the resource and the cooldown in this. Specifically when it costs as much as it does to use it. And that the that the regeneration of your mana is time-based. I think it's fine to just remove the cooldown, honestly. But they're not going to do that, because we are in the age of cooldowns. I went Glass Cannon as well. Deal more damage, but take more. I put 1 point into Ice Armor, I guess. I don't think I've used it once. But it is a useful thing from Diablo 2, so that's why I picked it up. Barrier of Ice forms around you for 6 seconds, absorbing... I don't know what absorbing means, but absorbing 33% of your base life in damage. Your damage dealt is added to its barrier, which is kind of cool. So I should be using it, but I just haven't. Frost Nova, classic, freezes enemies around you. Haven't tried it. Then I came down to the Hydra. Hydra is good. Hydra is very good. It's just like most other things in this skill tree. It's stupid good. I just don't have much more to say about it than that. It's just so strong. Could not recommend it more. Get a nice upgrade there. It gains 1 additional head. Then I don't know which one I would pick after here. Also burns enemies for 12% of its base damage dealt. After you critically strike, your Hydras gain crit strike chance for 3 seconds. I might have gone for summoned Hydras in that case. Because that's guaranteed damage, but this is like after you crit strike, which I don't know how often that happens. Maybe it's a lot because the Chain Lightning bounces a lot, but this is guaranteed damage, so I'd probably go with that. I didn't try Ice Blades. It sounds cool though now that I'm reading the name. Conjure a pair of Ice Blades that rapidly slash enemies. Oh, it's just hovering blades. Okay. Conjure a spear of lightning that seeks out enemies. That's terrifying. then of course I put a point into Blizzard, because how could I not? Every time I've played a Sorceress in Diablo 2, it's always just teleport and Blizzard, and that's your entire kit. And it's so strong in Diablo 2. I had to pick up Blizzard in this. I couldn't just let that one go. It damages 120% and continually chills enemies for 18% over 8 seconds. So eventually you're going to get a full freeze out of anyone that stays in that thing. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Didn't try Meteor. It's a classic though. I didn't try Firewall. Didn't know that was here. Also a classic. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I did know Firewall was here. I remember them showing an old video where the intensity of the look of the spell increases the more you put points into it. I remember seeing like a real shallow looking Firewall, but then them showing right next to it on a separate like split screen, them showing a fully decked out Firewall, how it looked like thick fire. So I did know that was in here, but I completely forgot about it. And I hope that system is still in the game, because that would be fun. Like the intensity of skills increasing the more points you have into them. I don't know if it's related to level or just skill points. I think it was skill points. I'm not entirely sure. Ball Lightning, don't know her. Never heard of her. Slowly moves forward, continually zapping enemies. Okay. So it's like Frozen Orb with lightning? Could be cool. As I said, don't know her. Deep Freeze. Yeah, as you can see, I never got to the... I'm 6 levels away from... Yeah, 6 levels away from getting to the ultimates down here. Like Deep Freeze, Inferno, and Unstable Currents. Never saw any of these. Probably not going to get to them in the beta. Do I feel like I'm missing out? Not really. I feel like I can still kill everything just by looking at it while playing this character. So in general, just very strong. Stupid strong. Very good. Very good class. Hope it stays this strong through the entirety of the game and doesn't fall off a bit in late game. That would be my only worry. But outside of that, it's very good. Now, my one thing that I don't like genuinely don't like about casters and the sorcerer and all this stuff, is the aesthetic. It's not my thing. So I kind of went with something that looks almost like a, I don't know, a corrupted sorcerer. I went like real dark with the makeup and all the tattoos and stuff. I went with the long beard because I'm a wizard. I have to have a beard. But just in general, it's not my preferred aesthetic of gear in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I really like are these gloves that I have on here. I like the sharp tips on the fingers, and I like the sharp edges and stuff with the golden red on the gloves. I think that looks awesome. But other than that, I haven't really found anything in their gear that I genuinely enjoy. I think all of this stuff looks like I'm Maleficent now. If I went purple, I'm Maleficent. Like, okay. I mean, if Maleficent had this boob window, it'd be the best class in the game. She doesn't. But it's... I don't vibe with the look of the sorcerer at all. And there's no fix for that. That's just aesthetic preference, you know? It's just not my thing. And I think that's fine. It's not my thing, but it's gonna be someone's thing. That's kind of cool. It's goofy as hell, but kind of cool. What do you look like red? Yeah. I don't like these big hats. Like it looks like I have a top hat and then a piece of cloth over it. It's weird. I like the mask though. Yeah, just in general, I don't enjoy the wizard aesthetic very much. Or sorcerer. I enjoy some of the more casual looking stuff here, but in general I just don't really vibe with any of this stuff, really. It's either just it's a pair of gloves, or it looks like you've bumped your head into a I don't know, like a one of those huge, are they called chandeliers? Like it's weird for me. Those are all right. Like a bit wide with the plates, but if I had the rest of that armor, I think it would look cool. I like that one. That's cool. Runic. That could look cool if I had the whole thing. Yeah, just in general, I'm obviously not the target demographic for this set. I'll say that much. This set design, rather. It's not my vibe at all. But I can see that at least there is cohesion in what they have here. It is well designed. It all fits the character. It's just not my preferred aesthetic. So it's not something I'm like, they messed up. They should have done this differently. It fits. It's just not my thing. And I think that's completely fine. Like, not everyone can be satisfied with everything, and this is probably the one aesthetic in the game that just does not do it for me, personally. But there's a lot of people playing the Sorcerer, loving the Sorcerer, so, you know, as long as they're happy, I'm happy. I think that's the most important part.